I am the queen of my throne. 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 They gon' hate when we get on.
And
They gon' hate when we
welcome
get on.
to what's really going on with partnerships.
Yes.
Yeah, so we've partnered with a great organization called SDIG. And that organization is Systemic Diversity and Inclusion Group.
Mm-hmm.
And its founder and CEO really is Dr. Joseph Nwoye. And he's an amazing individual that is globally bringing peace and equity and justice. And I've just really want to, talk a lot about his organization, but we don't have time to do all that. So
internationally,
in order to, bring partnerships we've decided to host guests that can talk more about partnerships globally and the partnership that we've formed with SDIG, right?
Yes, and we have a lot of amazing guests all across the world. So this has been an amazing partnership, and we look forward to telling you more about what's really going on with partnerships.
Right, let's do it. And welcome back to What's Really Going On. And our guest today for What's Really Going On with Partnering is MonaLisa from Ghana.
Yeah.
So welcome.
Welcome to the show.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Tell us what's really going on with partnering in Ghana. Your specialty is working in human resources, but the soft skills with academia and corporate. And so how do you do that? I mean, globally, that's such an impact for people.
Well, thank you so much for this opportunity. Let me say that as we all know, SDIG is basically about equity, about peace, about social justice for all. And I believe that in a small way, or where I find myself, people are the most essential resource. And bridging the gap between academia and the corporate world is such a difficulty, but we have found a small way through provision of soft skills and basically other skills, so that people will go to school and not find jobs because the corporates are seeking certain things that people from academia are unable to find unless we give them that. So we kind of provide training in those areas to make them be able to fit in wherever their level of education gives them. And that, I believe, is providing some form of equity for whoever comes from academia or whoever comes from the classroom in whatever level they find themselves from coming into corporate.
That's interesting.
Basically.
To individualize that and mold it towards that individual's skill set.
Hey, I can relate a lot to that because I feel like coming from the military, we also need that transitional space to kind of apply what we've learned and then take it into the workspace. So what have you found to be most successful, or some of your success stories with those skills?
Wow. Okay, so around here, so I have done training in Ghana, Nigeria, Liberia, Gambia only once. Oh, then Rwanda recently, this COVID period. So a little bit of good things for me. Oh, in 2018, I was in the UAE to do soft skills training as well. That was for airport staff. Now, let me say that my experience is for Africa, so I'm able to relate. But I believe that human beings all over the world would need some form of soft skill, especially because when it comes to success stories, the fact that the person is able to transition from book to what the working world is seeking is in itself a success story, especially when you have given them the training and you have told them this is how to talk when you go to the working world. There are relationships you need to relate properly with. There are ways you should do things that you would not find in the classroom.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
can you give us an example of when you say soft skills? I mean, it could be so many, but for people that are watching and tuning in for us today, can you give us an example of that? Because I know right now a lot of people are thinking, you know, what is a soft skill? So can you give us an
Okay,
example?
so a very good soft skill will be empathy. Another very good soft skill will be emotional intelligence. And for emotional intelligence, I know me, I understand you, and I am able to put myself in your shoes. It makes the working world a better place. So you're thinking about, this is how I feel when I'm in my element as a woman. And I believe that another woman might feel same way when she's in her element. So she has her menstrual cycle. I may not know the time, but once she's in a certain mood, I'm thinking, okay, how would I have felt? So I feel for her already. I kind of understand where she's coming from. And when somebody, we know these things, but when somebody unplugs us into that place, we're able to understand better, and we're not going to shout on those people. We deal with them the way we would have loved to be dealt with or treated. And I believe that makes the world a little better for all of us.
Nice to be able to have that personal relationship with someone and be able to speak and respect each other's space.
Sure,
Definitely.
yeah, I think that is a beautiful thing. And in corporate, I don't know that that's always, you know, shared as well. So with SDIG, you know, your help there in bridging this gap, I think that you're able to bring a new element for them globally.
Right.
How do you see that fitting in for them? Is that you're able to bring them some curriculum, and also are you able to bring them some new areas to look at?
Right. Thank you very much. So because I am in academia and also in the in industry or in corporate, curricular development is such a, I think it comes to me quite easily because I'm quite used to it. I've been around it for almost 20 years, yes. Now, I believe that new areas, especially from the African point of view, so that SDIG does not seem biased and does not look at only a certain area. So it doesn't seem, oh, it's all American and all Europe and all nice. And they would look at it from the African point of view. So my areas of interest of what I'm going to be bringing on board, or what I've already started bringing, is the African point of view, curricular development, and also how to see things from not only a skewed point of view.
So as we're just, you know, running out of time here, I want to make sure people are able to reach you if they need to. So tell us where people can find you on the web.
Okay. Right. So social media, I'm on LinkedIn at monalisakafui, Anenu. And then I'm also on Instagram at monalisakafui. And then I'm also on Facebook at monalisakafui. My website is down. I wanted to don't know, I think COVID hasn't been very friendly with me, but it has always been up. It is mondeshrfix.com. So Mondes HR Fix, and it will come up. Mondes HR Fix,
Okay.
MONDSHRFIX.
Okay, no problem. We'll get those up for everybody to access. So again, if they want to find you on Instagram, Facebook, or LinkedIn, they can look you up at Kafui, KAFUI. And it's been such a pleasure to have you. And that's what's really going on with MonaLisa from Ghana.
Thank you. Thank you.
So much.
I'm very grateful for the opportunity.
All right, and welcome to the show, Uchenna from Maryland. And what's really going on with partnerships, right? And you've partnered with the youth and the community within SDIG, and you've done quite a bit of work there. Tell us about some of the efforts you've made recently.
Hi. Yeah, this past year we were able to reach out to a lot of different programs, one of which has also been another connection we've made called My Happy Core. Right now, the Youth Visionaries program is working with people of all ages, but in particular, focusing on the youth to help with mental health. Because of the recent pandemic, it left a lot of people not feeling necessarily themselves, and we've been doing different programs, virtual programs, to kind of counter those feelings and just to create a positive and healthy, life and environment.
Right. No, the pandemic has affected us all, I think, and mental health has been a big topic, and it can be a help to everyone. What are some of the kind of successes that you've seen from partnering in that program?
Yeah, so this, as well as another grouping of people actually at a local high school, have tried to essentially get to a point of virtual yoga, breathing exercises, things to really try to counter the stresses of everyday life, and really just kind of, sustain themselves in a different positive way by finding a different outlet. We're trying to find different outlets through the SDIG's youth program, and I think that it has been successful, and we're hoping to grow and to reach more people so that we can continue to create a positive environment, but also one that is a friendly and safe environment to be in.
Yeah, no, definitely. It sounds like something I want to be involved in. I need some yoga in my life.
So it's like meditation as well, like the breathing exercises, utilizing meditation, different calming resources.
Yeah, it's actually kind of cool. I think the thing is that a lot of the time, we're not always in a position to, spend money or to do things even outside of the house. So this is just something that we can do literally just, in our rooms, or in the living room, or wherever you're able to log in on from. And it also gives an opportunity to really talk to other people. At this point in time, because of the closure, or even the so many people not necessarily having their same work experiences because their hours are cut, or different things are changing in their lives, we had actually been able to kind of like help them navigate that situation, but also to kind of just reach out to people and just ask them, like, it's okay for you to talk about this, and it's okay to be aware of your surroundings, and it's okay to want to feel this relief, and to understand that it's okay to have these thought processes, because we were actually talking about how our environment is particularly it affects how we act in everyday life. So if we're able to help ourselves to create a better and healthy and environment, we can kind of get to a point of happiness and just understanding of other people and ourselves, and not as much stress around that or anxiety about necessarily meeting new people, because this was kind of like also used as an icebreaker. By meditating or by even doing yoga, sometimes it can bring about really positive I guess feedback, and it allows people to really reach out and talk to each other because they're at a calm and like more relaxed level than just we're logging in during a pandemic, and it's can be really stressful to even begin conversation. So this was really just something unique that we started, and really happy to see where it's going.
That's amazing, and to provide that safe space, that safe environment for people.
Yeah, I think that's going to be really, really important. So reaching out, to build this partnership, is that something that you saw a need for from the work that you do?
Yeah, I think that during this time there was a lot of global issues. Essentially, there was a military coup that had taken over in Myanmar, and several friends of mine personally had family members that had passed, and they weren't really able to navigate that situation, but rather having the ability to start to talk about it, but also do things to help, promote, social justice in a way, figure out, okay, where do we donate? How do we do these things? Grouping them together was really important. We also had another issue. Obviously, we've had a lot of protests go on here in the States because of racial injustice. And I think ultimately we just are operating with the tools that we can have and use, and that can kind of help us to better understand what really is going on, but also how to really take care of oneself when everything around you feels like it is in crumbles, and when it feels like you're not able to really do anything, to have someone to talk to you about it, but also to learn from, because these are extremely different parts of the world. So you would think, these are all different things that are happening, but in reality, the feelings and the emotions behind it are usually the same. And to have that connection really helps.
I like that. That's beautifully said. I mean, all different people maybe going through different experiences, but the feelings and the impact can really kind of be the same on you, maybe emotionally and mentally. And this is a way to cope with that, and teaching people how to cope with that. It's so beautiful. So how can people get a hold of you if they need to? Is it the email that you gave us, the programadmin@systemicdiversity.org? Is that the best way?
Yes. Yeah.
We'll make sure we get that up on the screen. Everybody can see it, and they can reach out and if they want to get involved in the program and everything. So if there's one key thing that you could leave for our youth, that are struggling right now, what would that be? Before we let you go.
Okay. I think the most important thing to remember is that there is just so many people out here that have your same common identities, but also even people that don't have anything in common with you, but will feel and understand you, and to always feel that it's okay to speak out or to explain what it is that you do feel, and to validate your feelings rather than to push them aside. I think it's important that most important that people have put themselves in the situation to communicate when they do feel like that they need help, and to know where to go when you need help, because it will essentially just change your entire outlook and being. By getting the help that you need, it really can foster so many positive things in your life.
Right.
Right.
Thank you so much, Uchenna. And that's what's really going on with partnerships and the youth and the community. Thank you so much. It's
for
been
your
a pleasure
time.
to have you.
Thanks.
And welcome to our show, Ying Chu from Tokyo. She's going to talk to us about her partnerships with D&I, diversity and inclusion, and also other expansive global trainings that she's been doing, not only with SDIG, but also in her area. So tell us, how has that been going in those partnerships and all the training that you've provided?
Well, recently I have been coordinating the training with the automobile company, and it is very exciting with international people from everywhere, and we are doing the training online. And I think that inspired me to be more aware about diversity and inclusion in terms of cross-cultural understanding or communications, and leadership as well.
Oh, wow. Yeah. So, I mean, you've had to do most of the training online, I imagine, because of the pandemic.
Yeah, sure.
Wow. So, how big are most of these organizations that you get to work with?
Well, mostly there are more than 2,000 people, or sometimes 6,000 people. Yeah, so per training might not be that big number, but it would be maybe 20, 30 people together who are selected.
Oh, wow. Wow. So you get to work with the leaders in the organization too?
Yes, sure. Because those Japanese company with big names, they want to foster international talents. So they come to us and ask us how to do that, and we provide training for them.
That's really
That's
great.
interesting.
Yeah, because it usually, it starts with the leadership. If you get the leadership invested and they want to see change in their organization, then it's a lot easier to make things happen.
Yeah.
So what has been something that you've seen as a real success in those trainings that you've been able to bring to people? What is kind of your shining moments lately?
Well, because I am actually not only a training specialist, I'm actually a training coordinator. So I connect the dots together for them. That's how I add in value in terms of maybe our clients, the lack of some sort of training materials or trainers, because they want to learn soft skills about leadership, management. They may lack of connection with other business schools, but we have the all kinds of resources, and we have the connections for them. So we sort of connect everything together and have some exciting discussions with them, and provide a customized training for them.
Yeah.
What are some things that you may have occurred or run into that may have been a little bit difficult in organizing these trainings and coordinating, if they really need a lot of resources or things you have to bring to the table to facilitate?
Yeah, actually, in all kinds of dimensions, it's very hard for me because as a Taiwanese, a foreigner working in Japan, in Tokyo, and most of our clients, they are actually Japanese people. So we have this not only language barriers, but also cultural barriers as well. They have very unique kind of dynamic between Japanese people, and it's very high context. So I need to try very hard to understand what they are talking about, what they're trying to deliver about their messages.
Right. That's very interesting, because as a coordinator, I could see you having to be, with each client and understanding, like you said, the high context, and then also, you know, the culture, not only of the organization, but of the people involved. So what, when you say soft skills, I think that means like so much for so many people. But can you give us an example of like some trainings that some of these organizations are looking for that you've been able to find for them?
Yeah, sure. Happy to share. It's like in Japan, actually, their pinpoint is English skills, very basic one, and they suffer that. And actually, some people doing very good at their job, but they simply cannot speak very good English, then they cannot evolve in their position or in their roles. So we kind of help them to know the way to build the English language skills. Just tell them how to do it instead of making them into like cram school or something. Making them understand the way to smartly master English language skills. But on the other hand, we're actually more focused on the upper level about their communication skills, such as presentations, negotiations, debates. So those kind of skills are leaders who, actually the basic of leaders who wants to operate like globally. So, and then it comes to your leadership style. For example, let's say inclusive leadership or any sorts of democratic styles of leadership. So we start to learn maybe authentic leadership as well, and sort of making them understand not only about the theory, but how practically you can use it at work.
Yeah, no, I really like that, because as adults, you know, learning practice is really what's going to make it stick, right? Not just the book learning. Some of our other guests, even talking about partnerships, mentioned that, you know, that it's more than just the book learning. You have to give them an opportunity to practice these skills in real time. So that's really great. I like how you brought up kind of this adaptive leadership styles and you know, these soft skills in the area of leadership, because I think right now with the pandemic, it even makes it difficult because we can't be face to face, but we still need those interaction and social skills.
Yeah.
So are those workshops you have virtually, you host, and then they interact with those skills, those soft skills? You have little small workshops where they speak and have dialogue, you know, back and forth, practicing those skills?
Yes, exactly what you're talking about. Actually, we were doing it face to face like 2 years ago, and then we moved completely online.
Right.
It was a disaster, but now we are, yeah.
That transition.
You're working through that now, right?
Yeah, we're working through it. Oh my goodness. Only about our mic or like speakers, it's really, we struggled a lot.
And even maybe connection, you know, that's a big issue.
Yes, yes.
Right. So before we let you go, let us know what is something that you've learned with these partnerships, you know, besides this difficulty, you know, going to virtual, but for others to know that you can bring to by connecting organizations and their training that you've learned by doing this. You know, what would be most helpful if someone's trying to get something like this going?
I like to talk about the mindset of doing more. It's like, because maybe it's a Asian thing, I don't know. Like people tend to be shy and not to do what they cannot do, afraid of failure.
Okay.
But because my job is like every day is changing, every day is exciting, and every day is challenging. So to be connected and to connect people, it really need everybody to take one more step out of their comfort zone and then have this conversation, being curious about others and being willing to share their ideas and stories. So I think this doing a little bit more is the thing I learned from this job and also from SDIG.
Wow, no,
Yeah,
that's
that's
really,
awesome.
really beautiful. I like that. Not being afraid of failing and letting that hold you back from trying to, help others and to do more. That's brave. That's
Yeah,
really
just-
brave.
Just
So
to step out your comfort zone to even, express your feelings and to accomplish the things that you want to accomplish without fear.
yeah, sharing your experiences with others is helpful. So thank you so much. And if people want to get a hold of you, it's best to try and email you. So we'll get your email up there. It was Tokyo-office@systemicdiversity.org. And they can get more information, or if they want to help coordinate, or not help coordinate, that's your job. They want to get training coordinated, they reach out to you. So thank you so much. And that's what's really going on with Yingchu in Tokyo.
Oh, my pleasure. Happy to be here.
Thanks for being with us. That was great and amazing. All of our guests, and this partnership is going to be awesome.
Yes, we're excited. This is exciting.
We get guests from all around the
over
world and amazing topics with real people, real experiences, so we know what's really going on.
I am the queen of my throne. 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 They gon' hate when we get on. They gon' hate when we get on. They gon' hate when we get on. They gon' hate when we